Crota's end is upon us, but you can't fight Crota just yet. Your first objective in the Hellmouth is traversing the Abyss to get to Crota's fortress. Things start off a little more hectic than Vault of Glass, so let's get started. Traversing the Abyss isn't particularly complex, but is rather a much more frantic encounter than what you may be used to. Before you drop into the Hellmouth, you'll need to activate the drop, which is done by simply standing on the bridge activator and letting it form. After dropping down into the Abyss, look for a lamp. This is the first of 16 lamps you'll be finding and following during this encounter. As you drop in, you'll get the debuff Weight of Darkness. This debuff gradually slows your movement speed and reduces the quality of your jump and vertical movement skill, stacking up to 10 times, where 10 will reduce you to near walking speeds. To get rid of this debuff, you need to stand in any light source. This is where those lamps come into play. To activate the lamp, simply walk up to it, but be warned that after a short time, the lamp will start to glow red and explode after 20 seconds, so you need to be quick. To reach the end of the gauntlet, you must follow the lamps until you get to the next bridge activator, like at the start. However, the journey to the end is very treacherous. During your journey, you'll face hundreds of Thrall, Cursed Thrall, and Knights. There will also be giant pits that you can fall into during your trip that kill you should you fall into them. Fireteam revives are disabled, meaning you can't revive yourself, but you can still revive teammates. Revive timers are set to 10 seconds during this gauntlet. However, due to the nature of the encounter, reviving is a little bit difficult without proper lamp activation coordination. The strategy here is to simply get to the end of the area. You need to balance movement with killing Thrall, as they will overwhelm very quickly. Striker Titans, Blade Dancer Hunters, and Voidwalker Warlocks, with their ability to kill a lot of Thrall in such a short time, are ideal for this part of the raid. You and your team need to stick together the entire time, kill Thrall, and avoid holes to reach the end. Lamps only activate when you get near them, so if some of your teammates are falling behind, just wait a safe distance away from the lamp until all of your teammates are bunched up, then move forward and activate the lamp. The lamp will slowly clear your stacks of Weight of Darkness. You should aim to clear as many stacks as possible before moving to the next lamp. The path is a set path, so it is the same path to each lamp every time. When you reach the end, you'll find another bridge activator. When you activate it, you will summon many Thrall along with Ogres and Knights. Try to split your group into pairs, each pair looking left, middle, and right respectively. Call out Ogre and Knight spawns as they are very high priority targets. You'll need to fight here for about 1 minute as the bridge is forming. The 1 minute will start once you hear this sound, basically the cue of the music. Once the bridge forms, enemies will spawn on the bridge itself and on the other side. An ogre may spawn as well, which should be killed very quickly. After everyone is across the bridge, you will be rewarded with loot and will move to the next part of Crota's End, crossing the bridge to his fortress. The goal of this encounter is to get everyone across to the fortress side. The first phase starts with all players on the opposite side of the fortress. You'll have access to a bridge activator along with 2 spires on the left and the right side. These spires are called Annihilator Totems. These totems are active when someone stands on the bridge activator on each side respectively. So if you are standing on the bridge activator on the start side, then only the start side Annihilator Totems will be active. The same rules apply to the other side. If no one is opening the bridge activator, then you do not need to worry about the totems. The issue with the Annihilator Totems is that if they are active and no one is standing in the circle near the totem, they will start to ignite, and after 10 seconds will explode, killing everyone. Both sides, the start side and the fortress side, are split the same way, with an Annihilator Totem on the left and right, and a bridge activator in the middle. The bridge activator works the same way as the others. Standing on it activates the building of the bridge. Throughout the fight, sword bearers and gatekeepers will spawn, but on opposite sides. Sword bearers will spawn on the side that you start on, and gatekeepers on the fortress side. The first sword bearer will spawn about 10 to 15 seconds after you start the encounter, which is started by stepping on the bridge activator. The sword bearer will drop a sword when killed, which needs to be used to kill the gatekeeper on the opposite side. Here's the thing, you can only cross the bridge if you have a sword, so everyone will need to use a sword at some point. If you attempt to cross the bridge without the sword, you will die instantly. Also, the gatekeepers that spawn on the other side are immune to all damage except for the sword. For this fight, have your group split into pairs, 2 on each totem and 2 on the bridge. Hive enemies will spawn in waves, alternating between thralls, acolytes, and knights, which simply need to be killed. The sword bearer will spawn at the top of the stairs and then walk down to a random area, left, middle, or right. Ideally, the person to grab the first sword will be a striker titan, preferably wearing the armamentarium exotic chest armor with as much discipline as possible, although the exotic is not 100% necessary. The striker titan should be using the flashbang grenade, because while the gatekeepers are immune to the grenade's damage, they are not immune to flashbang's blind effect as of the making of this video, which makes dealing with them very easy. The striker titan should then use flashbang grenades on every gatekeeper to ensure everyone has an easy time killing them. If you do not have a striker titan, that is not a problem, but gatekeepers may be a little bit tougher. The easiest way to take out the gatekeepers, assuming you are level 31, is to use a //slam combo. You can perform this combo by hitting whatever your melee button is twice, which is the slash, and then hitting whatever your trigger button is, which is the slam. When combined in this way, the slam will be an uppercut slash, but almost does the damage of a slam attack. Two of these combos should take out the gatekeeper and should keep it staggered the entire time. At level 30, the gatekeeper can 2-hit you, and at level 29, the gatekeeper will likely kill you with one swing, so be cautious if you are not level 31 or level 32. Your sword will expire after 30 seconds, so you need to dispatch of the gatekeeper quickly. Once your sword goes away, you need to stay on that side until the end of the fight. There will be a few enemies spawning on the fortress side, including major knights with boomers, so be sure to avoid them as much as possible and take out easier non-major targets. Most enemies will not walk into the circle of the area where the Annihilator Totem is in, namely the gatekeepers. However, Thrall will absolutely walk into the circle. Other enemies that spawn are acolytes, thrall, knights, and wizards, although wizards do not spawn very often. This process now repeats itself 5 more times, with sword bearers and gatekeepers spawning every so often, and each person needing to grab a sword, running to the other side, and killing their gatekeeper. Once 3 people are on the fortress side should take over the role of keeping the bridge open, meaning their totems will now be active, and the start side should step off of their bridge activator to disable their totems. Note that now the gatekeeper that spawns will attack whatever players are on the bridge activator on the fortress side, so be sure to do a lot of jumping around so that you don't die. When there are only 1 or 2 people left on the start side, you'll be doing a lot less killing and a lot more jumping and running around. Your priority here is to just not die. You'll want to utilize a lot of heavy ammo as well. Players from the other side are encouraged to use snipers and rockets with tracking to help kill sword bearers quickly. After all players are over to the fortress side, you will have to deal with more hive enemies, including a wizard, which isn't a huge deal. However, the final enemies will be 2 ogres, one on the left and one on the right, both of which should be killed quickly. This fight requires a lot of coordination and communication with your team. Making sure people are on and off certain plates at the right time will make dumb mistakes less frequent, and knowledge of use of the sword is also handy, although it is not as difficult to use as the relic from the Vault of Glass. If you need practice with the sword, it is the exact same sword that is in the Sword of Crota story mission. Once the ogres are defeated, you'll receive loot, and the doors will open to Crota's fortress. This is where the true chaos begins. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you inside.